Hello and welcome to today's reflection. Today we are going to look at a short passage in 1 Samuel. It's 1 Samuel 3, 1 through to 9. And this is the next part of the story of the boy Samuel as he grows up in the temple, and that the first time that he hears God speaking to him. What I think about this passage is the informality of it, how God calls Samuel by name, how he calls his name, and we see repeated through the Bible different times when God speaks to people and he uses their name as just the way of them being able to hear from him and him to communicate to them. And I wonder, as we read this, have there been times when we have heard God calling us by name, when he has spoken to us, perhaps not audibly like in the story here, but when we've really felt on our hearts that we know we've got to do something or speak to someone or perhaps be somewhere. And perhaps the times when we have heard that, but we have chosen to ignore it and have chosen not to follow whatever it is that we feel God has laid on our hearts. So I just want us to just have a think, really, I suppose, as we listen to 1 Samuel 3, the first 9 verses, which says, "Now the boy Samuel was ministering to the Lord under Eli. The word of the Lord was rare in those days. Visions were not widespread. At that time, Eli, whose eyesight had begun to grow dim so that he could not see, was lying down in his room. The lamp of God had not yet gone out, and Samuel was lying down in the temple of the Lord, where the ark of God was. Then the Lord called, 'Samuel, Samuel.' And he said, 'Here I am.' And he ran to Eli. And he said, 'Here I am, for you called me.' But he said, 'I did not call you. Lie down again.' So he went and lay down. The Lord again called, 'Samuel, Samuel.' So Samuel got up and went to Eli, and he said, 'Here I am, for you called me.' But he said, 'I did not call, my son. Lie down again.' Now Samuel did not yet know the Lord, and the word of the Lord had not been revealed to him. The Lord called Samuel a third time. And he got up, and he went to Eli and said, 'Here I am, for you called me.' Then Eli perceived that the Lord was calling the boy. Therefore Eli said to Samuel, 'Go, lie down, and if he calls you again, you shall say, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is listening." So Samuel went and lay down in his place." So my thought for us today is, how is God perhaps calling us today? What is he laying on our hearts? What is he challenging us to do or to think, or where we should be focusing our attention? And I wonder if we too can be brave like the child Samuel and respond to God by saying, "Speak, Lord, for your servant is